Hi, my name is Casey B. White, and welcome back to Let's Talk. Okay, so tonight I have three topics. The first is the people versus Derek Chauvin. The second is Park Cannon, the Georgia State lawmaker. And the third is COVID 19. Oh, and also I want to add a fourth. I want to discuss the Asian population being attacked. Okay, so let's start with the people versus Derek Chauvin. Okay, so this is the third day of trial, but we're going to go back actually to the first day opening arguments. Okay, so his defense team is saying that basically Derek Chauvin did what he did because he was trained to do it. So everyone's listening to this, and my thought is so the Minneapolis Police Department trains their officers to cold-bloodedly kill black men? That, like, really? Okay, so that's a reach. All right, the other reach is that there was a crowd of people and that became extremely hostile. And Derek Chauvin was so busy concentrating on the crowd of people that he couldn't focus on George Floyd, or he lost focus on George Floyd. Really? So, okay. The other thing in his opening argument was that George Floyd died from everything but Chauvin's knee being on his neck, okay? He had ingested drugs while he was in the custody, which I find that hard to believe because when they took him out of his car, they handcuffed him. So when did he take the drugs? Before they came to the car? Because if he did, they didn't see that. And then the officer, one of the officers, I don't know, I didn't write down their names other than Chauvin, one of the other three, walks up to the car, pulls his gun, and is just cursing, using the F word all over the place. Okay. So you see people in distress. Now, I'm quite sure you summarized the situation and saw that there was a possibility he could have been high. He could have been a lot of things. But anyway, basically, other than him struggling in the back of the police car and, saying that, I can't breathe, but, he was pretty much, cooperating, and he became really fearful for his life. So there was a lot of things going on. All right. So anyway, they exacerbated the situation and made it worse. All right. All the witnesses that testified have they just told it like it was. And as far as this crowd of people that the defense attorney's talking about, and he's saying that they call Derek Chauvin, like, I think, bums, and the EMT slash the firefighter slash EMT, she called him a bitch. Well, he had that coming, and he asked her, did you call him a bitch? And she was like, yes, I did. Also, too, Donald Williams, called him a bum. He said Donald Williams called him a bum like 13 times, and he said, yes, I did, But the bottom line is that they pleaded with the officers to please take his pulse, let him breathe. He can't breathe, his nose is bleeding. Oh my God. Watching it, I'm like, you know, um, and for Derek Chauvin to have done that for 10 minutes, really? So then you say that he died from everything but that. He had coronary disease, he had hypertension, he died from everything but your client's knee on his neck. Yeah, okay. But anyway, testimony has been really compelling. I know that at least one juror is having a hard time with it. And speaking of that, I just want to tell you that the jury is made up of 9 women, 6 men. 9 of the jurors identify with white, 4 identify as black, and two mixed race. Okay, so there's about 15 jurors, right? So anyway, they range from their 20s to their 60s in age. So let's see how this plays out. But other than the testimony has been compelling, even showing the footage from the police officer's vantage point that took place today. And let me tell you, it ain't helping them, because all they had to do was call for either a bigger truck, back up, get the ambulance there. They felt and knew that he was high, so he became extremely paranoid, and he was telling them this, and claustrophobic, and he, it was just, it's it's gut wrenching. That's what it is. Okay, so more to come on that. And then here we are with last Thursday, almost a week ago today, our Park Cannon, our state lawmaker, arrested in Georgia, knocking on the door of Governor Kemp's office. And what's sad about that is she had a right to be there. And not only that, but why were they doing it in secrecy with like 6 white men, 3 on each side of him? He's signing. And then you have like that picture behind me, and then you have the famous plantation in Georgia on a picture. I mean, oh my God, that's horrible. So here, you know what? Let him have his moment. He had it. One of the things that's bothersome about this is that one of the things that he signed into law was that you can't give your fellow voter water. No one can bring them food. Any kind of soliciting is forbidding. I mean, I get that you can't campaign and give out literature. I think it's like in New York, it's about maybe 25 feet in the polling place. But anyway, anybody seen doing that will be arrested. So if I decided that I have an extra bottle of water and I want to give it to an elderly person in front of me, or maybe a peer in front of me, I can be arrested for that. All right, well, that's why we're in a situation with this whole George Floyd thing, because for some reason they continue to think, and they are a dying breed. They continue to think that they can treat us any way that they want, and it's not right. So, okay, so much for that. But anyway, Park Cannon, we wish her well. We're praying for you. And, I hope everything works out. And Governor Kemp, your day will come. And I hope that in 2022, that's it for you. You're not reelected. Okay. So the COVID vaccine is doing well. They're hoping that by May, June, that most of the adults in the United States will be vaccinated. They also stated that COVID was the number 3 killer in the United States last year. And it's right after heart disease and cancer. COVID is number 3. All right, so, that's another sad situation, and, because we didn't have to be here. Again, the issues boil down to, informing the public of what was going on, so we could have taken care and protected ourselves. And everybody continued to wear your mask until I think the majority of the United States is vaccinated. Pfizer also did a trial today, or it came out today. They didn't do the trial today, but it came out today that teenagers between 12 and 16, I believe, can be vaccinated. They did a short study and they found that it was safe. And they're also, another drug maker, Moderna, or one of the other ones is also doing a trial on smaller children. So, we'll see where all of this goes. And then the other thing that I wanted to discuss yesterday was a big thing with a man who appeared to be a black man walking up to a Asian woman who was small, petite in stature, and kicking her in the stomach and knocking her down. And then he proceeded to stomp on her. And then the men that were watching this happen did absolutely nothing about it. They didn't say, stop, I'm gonna call the police. They didn't go to the woman's aid, nothing. So anyway, that was like the most despicable act. Besides this whole George Floyd thing, that was very despicable. So my thing is this. You Asian Americans or the Asian population had nothing to do with the coronavirus spreading around the United States. They were here. We were all here together. They had nothing to do with it. They were here. So for those of you who feel like it's their fault and saying things like they don't belong here, they belong here. They belong here just like me and you. And they have a right to walk down the street without being kicked and stomped. That was unbelievable. But anyway, today they arrested the man who did it. And, kudos to New York police officers. It's the one thing, if I don't know how they do it, but if you commit a crime and they have your picture, they coming for you. So, stop. And we all need to respect and honor one another. And let's stop this bad behavior, because you do something like this, you hurt the person, and then you get arrested. Like, where, what, like, anyway, I don't even know what to say, but we'll send our prayers out to the Floyd family, and we hope they can, get through this. We're strong and resilient people. I know we will get through it, but let me tell you all, it's tough. It is really tough, because watching it, I've been watching bits and pieces here and there, and I can't believe it. And everyone who has testified, the witnesses, the mob that Derek Chauvin's attorney said was out there, Eric Nelson, which really consisted of a handful of people, maybe six at most. So I don't know where this mob, and they felt threatened that they had to do what they did. But anyway, so anyway, let's keep watching. I'm going to come back in a couple of days, and let's see, and we'll have more about the trial. And anyway, have a good night, and thank you for listening.